Who knows? Maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
Transformational part of Bitcoin is this idea that we could have non-fiat money, right? We just, as we're talking about with the Fed, there is a huge risk of currency debasement when the government is in control, and particularly when you have the world's reserve currency. There's just such an enormous temptation to print money to finance your budget and to rack up loans that become unpayable. We're at what, like 130% of GDP now we owe. So we owe an amount of money greater than the size of our entire economy or our economic output. That sounds very hard to repay to me. So the temptation will eventually be to monetize the debt away, basically to debase the currency to pay for this debt. That's all.
Places like this on 4th Street Mall actually accept the digital currency Bitcoin, and it's as easy as paying with any other type of payment. Easier and inflation-proof, crypto fans say, since there aren't any transaction fees. Confirm. Oh, wow, there was a strike.
That's in a second.
Awesome, and that was it.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction; it was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. And they finally start to cut rates. And we know Japan is going to start raising rates. And those trillions of dollars that are sitting in money market accounts are going to start flowing over to the emerging markets. And we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction so they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
We had Bitcoin and crypto slightly moving up. As I'm doing this video, we are pulling back. Now, guys, don't forget we have CME opens tonight. We know it's like clockwork. It's going to move the market. And, of course, once yield rates get to moving in the morning, it'll move the market again. And don't forget, on Tuesday, we have the Microsoft decision, which, in my opinion, they're going to hold off due to the price. But I definitely see them coming in later. If they do approve it, I'll definitely be surprised. But if they do approve it, we know for a fact that's going to give us a pump. And plus, we have a lot of geopolitical events. We're going to see how the mainstream media money channels spin the news tomorrow. So make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. On Friday, we had yield rates down. We had the dollar up. Right now in crypto, we have volume down. We have Tether and USDC. And we have Tether has minted 20 billion USDT on Ethereum since November 6th. And we know as these stable coins get pumped, we know that eventually pumps the market. And we know we have the Fed to thank. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed on Friday. Repo was 130 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis during the week. And we also get inflation numbers this week also. But we know inflation is still sticky. The consensus is that the Fed is going to cut rates, even though job numbers came in pretty good. Now, we have Trump says on NBC he has no plans to replace Jerome Powell. And we already know that. Jerome Powell does not work for Trump. Trump works for the banks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Trump says Russia abandoned Syria's Assad, never should have been involved. And those who have the NWO book, you know all about PNAC. And this goes all the way back to 1997. And they said the think tanks dissolved in 2006, but the agenda was not. It's moving fast forward. Yes, they'll take a decade off and come right back to it. And I'll do a Patreon video soon on all the world topics that are going on. But we clearly see this is not going to end well. And if you're a part of my Patreons, you saw the post I did yesterday. This is definitely biblical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs on Friday were up. Now getting over into a little crypto news. We have Cardano Foundation X account was hacked. And the tweet stated they were served by the SEC and they were closing down. And you know how I feel about hacks. It's just like the Syria situation. Just one weekend, they decide to take over. This doesn't make sense. We know it's all planned out, and majority of the time is on the weekend. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, we have Ripple XRP Brad Garlinghouse on 60 Minutes tonight. How the SEC influenced the start of a crypto-backed super PAC. And like I always tell you, politicians are nothing but paid puppets by the big banks and big corporations. And who was funding crypto from the beginning? The big banks and big corporations. The only thing you have to do is look at the funding rounds of all these big crypto projects. And now it's time to bring in regulation. Remember, Gary Gensler, Jay Clayton was all part of the plan to kick the regulation can down the road so the emerging markets rise first. And who did we see in that banking meeting when they were talking about banks collapsing? That's right, Jay Clayton. The only thing you have to do is piece the puzzles together. But Brad is going to be on 60 Minutes, and we know only people that watch 60 Minutes are baby boomers. But since the XRP community is going to be watching Brad Garlinghouse, it's going to bring the younger generation to 60 Minutes. So you have the old and the young coming to learn about crypto. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.